Hey everybody, Greg Smith here with Backwoods Cryptids. I'm here with my first interview about old green eyes in the battlefield with Mr. Josh Stone.
Well done.
Now, Josh Stone was right near the tower. As you can see, the tower is right over there when he had his first encounter with old green eyes. Now Josh told me an interesting story that I have never heard about old green eyes, well, possibly what it could be. Josh, why don't you tell the folks that story?
Yeah, I'd heard, you hear all the stories growing up around here about green eyes and stuff, and the story that really sticks out in my head that I remember hearing is that it was an old Civil War soldier who got captured, and they kind of dug his eyes out with a spoon.
Now, was he a Confederate soldier or a Union soldier? Did the story specify?
The one that I remember, it doesn't really specify.
Okay.
It just said it was a soldier that was captured.
All right. Now, about how long ago was it you had your sighting with old green eyes?
It was about 5-6 years ago.
And now, what brought you out to the park that day or night?
We just wanted to do, we had heard stories about the lady in black that jumps off the tower.
Yeah.
And we wanted to test that out, and we had some experiences with that. I actually, me and my friend saw her come out of the wall and kind of start going up the steps as a silhouette of her black dress.
Oh, wow.
So we just started walking and taking pictures, and then down somewhere in this area, we just deep in the woods. It was more in the like December, January-ish, so there wasn't a lot of foliage there, so you could see deeper in. And it just looked like, there's two little green dots, and they'd disappear and reappear and disappear and reappear. They never really moved, and then they disappeared and was gone.
Okay, so about what time of the day was this? Was it night, day?
It was night. It was about 11, 12 o'clock at night.
All right, now about how high off the ground would you say those eyes were?
Oh, I'd say good, probably 6 feet.
So about my height?
Yeah.
Okay, so that puts it in this high of a average person.
Yeah, it looked like a person, and you never really heard any walking. It was dead quiet. I mean, you could hear animals running around that you could tell was animals.
Okay, so you could hear the animals scurrying about that are known for the area.
Yeah, but you couldn't really hear.
I'll keep it on you, dude.
You couldn't really hear the area that we saw it. You couldn't hear anything.
Okay, and you said it's about somewhere around this area right here?
Yeah, just somewhere around, like I said, deep. It was probably about a football field, maybe a little further back. So
y'all went into these woods off the trails?
A little bit. We stepped in a little bit, just trying to take pictures and stuff, see what we could get.
Wow. Now, how many people were with you that night?
There was 4. It was me and my buddy, and then our girlfriends at the time.
And they all saw this as well?
Yes.
Oh, wow. All right, so now what was your general reaction when you first saw this thing? Did you feel a little bit frightened? Did you feel freaked out?
Not too bad. I love the paranormal and all that, so it excites me more than it scares me. But we definitely didn't know what it was at the time.
Definitely too tall to be a deer, like everyone's claiming on my Facebook.
Yeah. And I've heard the stories that a lot of people think it's a deer, and
well, ain't no deer that tall.
No,
if it was, I'd want that thing on my dinner table.
Yeah, definitely.
Because that'd be a big old boy.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I wanted to come back, and we just hadn't been able to sync
work
up
schedules,
again.
and then the COVID hit.
Yeah. So we hadn't really been able to be back out here to look, but I'd love to come back out here and try to find him again.
Well, if you do, be careful, because I was up just walking around Snodgrass in the daytime, just scouting out the area, because that's where green eyes is most known for. And I found a bear print, a black bear print.
Oh yeah.
And then we had that sighting of a black bear right there at the food line over there.
Yeah, and I know the coyotes have been coming down off the mountain a lot more frequently this year.
Well, they actually had released coyotes a few years ago in this park because deer population got too big. So they probably got a ground somewhere around here they hide out at.
Probably.
Yeah, so, and you said, you just came out here and saw this thing about 6 foot off the ground, right over here somewhere. Mm-hmm. Now, what were the girls' reaction? Because
they were scared.
What about your buddy?
He was kind of half and half. I think he was scared, but he was kind of feeding off of my excitement. So,
that's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
All right, wow. So there you have it, folks. Someone who has synchronized has already said it was 6 foot. The eyes were 6 foot up off the ground. Now, you said you saw them blink and move around a little bit.
It looked like it was kind of
like this right here.
Yeah, just kind of going back and forth, almost like it was kind of look through the trees,
trying to figure out what you could be.
Yeah, and like I said, they'd disappear and reappear. I mean, you could make a case that they were blinking, or it could have been, you know, it was going behind a tree or something. I
like
mean,
you hit on the Sasquatch stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's hard to tell if it was actual blinking or not.
Gotcha. That's like a tree knock right there.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying yet that Green Eyes is a Bigfoot, but there is that possibility because I'll read the report on another video where there's an argument that Green Eyes could be a Sasquatch type creature.
Yeah, that could be. I mean, I know, like we were talking about before we went live on here.
Well, we're not live; it's being recorded.
The video, but yeah, there's been some green Sasquatch.
So you've heard about Sasquatch activity yourself in the park?
A little, not much.
Oh, well, do tell.
Just I've heard people kind of claim that they thought they saw something, but there's not really ever been any like proof pictures that I've seen.
No footprints or anything.
Yeah. So that was just more hearsay.
Yeah, but still, that's how Bigfoot stories all start out. Hearsay. Before we had the Patterson Gimli footage, which is still to this day the go-to proof.
Oh yeah. And I'm hearing more and more, like in other regions close to here, about sightings, especially down south a little bit towards
just go toward
Helen, Georgia, and
I've seen one in
like
Helen.
that.
I have seen one in
really?
Helen. Yeah, I work with this group called Minimal Research. Check out their YouTube channel. But when me and my girlfriend at the time, well, she fiance now.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. But well, what happened? We was out camping down there by the creek in Helen, and it's last night before we had to leave. So I decided, let me play Cherokee drums. Next morning, that son of a gun is up on the ridge watching me cook breakfast.
Oh wow!
I'm in such shock. My phone's dead. I'm like, "Come on down, we'll fix you a plate." It responded to me.
Oh wow!
It grunted and shook its head no.
Wow.
Yeah. But now also there've been Bigfoot sightings up on Pigeon Mountain in Lafayette.
Okay.
If you check the BFRO website, you'll find a lot of.
Okay.
I've actually found myself. I'll talk about on a later video on this. It's actually gonna be a whole other project besides the Green Eyes one. Where back in the 1800s, a geologist was doing a survey up near High Point and was chased off the mountain by a Bigfoot type creature wielding a big stick.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. And it made it all the way to the Atlanta Constitution newspaper.
Oh wow, that's big.
That's big news.
Yeah.
Now back to what you was talking about, Green Eyes. So your buddy was getting all excited. What were the girls saying? Let's get out of here.
Yeah,
let's go.
they were ready to go because, like I said, we just parked up in the parking spots
right here at the little pull-in spots up here.
Yeah, so they were ready to go, and we stood here for about 10 minutes once it disappeared, trying to see.
Now, how long did the sighting last? If you had to give an estimate on the time, because I know you were probably like, "Holy crap!" and not looking at your watch.
Yeah, I'd say about a minute or two. It wasn't long at all. We stood here looking for it once it disappeared longer than we actually.
Now, was it clear skies, rain, or drizzly, or cloudy? What?
It was dark, so I couldn't really. It wasn't drizzly.
Okay,
it was dry.
Was there any stars in the sky? Could you see the moon or anything?
I don't remember.
Okay, the reason I ask is I used to work in corrections, and we were doing an investigation. If it's an outside, like when someone dropped a pack or something for the inmates to get, we had to note the weather conditions.
Yeah, it was chilly. I know that.
Yeah, we
had jackets on, but like I said, it was December, January.
Yeah, so it's definitely in the dead of winter.
Yeah. But I don't. It's just been so long ago, I couldn't recall the.
Gotcha. Now let me see what you think about this. Every Green Eyes account I have found online stays on this side of Lafayette Road, the main road going to the park. What's your thoughts on that one? I mean, here at the tower, over at Snodgrass, never anything on the other side of the road.
That could go along with it being a soldier. It could have been captured over here, because I've heard that people have seen an apparition of a soldier, and it looked like it didn't have any eyes, and like it's looking for its eyes.
Oh wow!
So I mean, there's correlation there. So it could have been something where it all happened on this side of the Lafayette Road, and so that's where he thinks his eyes are.
Okay, so this is gonna be my last question for you, brother. And with everything you've seen, all the stories you've heard, what, in your own personal opinion, is Green Eyes?
I think it's a soldier.
So you think it's a spirit of some kind?
I think it's a spirit, and I think somehow his eyes got separated from his body in the battle, and I think I think that the eyes are looking for the body, and I believe that there's an apparition somewhere that's looking for the eyes.
Okay, and just for the record, so I can have it on video, I do have permission to post
Yes,
this video
yes,
on
you
YouTube.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So y'all heard it. I got his permission to put this on YouTube.
Yes, you do.
Well, thank you for your time,
No
man.
problem.
It's been a
Thank
pleasure
you.
to meet
Yeah.
you.